Okay, hi. Welcome to the Strategic Career Planning Workshop 2017 of eConsult, the female career development company. And my name is George-Ekehon. I'm going to be taking you through the workshop. This is actually the first phase of the workshop. And if you permit me, let's go straight to the slides. Thank you for joining us. Okay. Once again, you're welcome to the Strategic Career Planning Workshop. This is a very practical session to help you identify opportunities, define your goals, and develop a working plan to get your career started on the right path. This workshop is actually a follow-up to the first course we had this year, which is the career identity course. We took a number of participants through the process of identifying their career path, the career path that they are best suited for, and they were able to narrow it down to 3 major paths, and then down to the most striking career path for them. So this is actually a follow-up course. But don't you worry, peradventure you're yet to discover your ideal career path. We are going to tackle that down the line. So the workshop objectives, we're here to help, is going to help you to expose you to hidden but available opportunities for women and how to take advantage of them. This workshop is going to help you define your niche career path, which gives you an edge of exclusivity. It's going to help you create a career vision board to keep you inspired and focused while on your career journey. It's going to help you develop a career strategy. There is a path, there is a roadmap to pursuing that career path that you've decided to pursue, and then the associated plan, especially for 2017. Reviewing your resources to identify what you need to succeed. For every career path, there are certain resources you require. There are certain things you need to get to help you achieve your career goal, and we're going to be reviewing the resources as it suits your career path, and then the tools and techniques to enable you stay on track. There is always a tendency to get distracted along the line. So we're going to be giving you the tools and the techniques to enable you stay on track of your career. First things first, here's a little about me. My name is George-Ekehon, and I'm a human resource consultant, a female capacity development expert, a conference speaker, versed in leadership and employability development, as well as a social entrepreneur. My first degree is in computer science from the University of Nigeria in Nsukka, and I went on to get an MBA in strategic management from the Metropolitan School of Business and Management, UK. With my passion for personal and corporate transformation, I went on to earn a certification from the Institute of National Transformation, as well as a certificate for entrepreneurial management, Development Center, Lagos. I've been able to work with brands like EcoBank, the new Global Access Partners, NGAP, Uconnect Human Resources Limited, Etisalat, Airtel, Skybank, Golden Heart Foundation, Diamond Bank, Maple Group, Adrian Morgan Credit, Dangote PLC, the Federal College of Education, Lagos, Nigeria, and the Yaba College of Technology, Lagos, Nigeria, along the lines of recruitment, training, employability development, client service management, as well as strategy development. As a social entrepreneur, I've been involved in projects like the National Youth Summit, anchored yearly in Abuja by the Golden Heart Foundation, as well as the Youth Employability Summit on the platform of the Nigerian Graduate Advancement Program. I've been able to help individuals as well as organizations actualize strategic goals for productivity. And I am the principal consultant of eConsult. eConsult is focused on helping women build a sustainable career. So just a little about me. This this workshop, we're going to go through the workshop using a two-pronged approach: the diagnosis, which we're going to be looking at the reflections on your 2016 career achievements and your learning points, as well as how to thrive in a turbulent economy as a woman. Then we're going to be looking at the second phase of this workshop. We're going to be looking at it's going to be a video course where we're going to be looking at the solution, which is the roadmap to actualizing your career. Looking at also is the exposure to the hidden but available opportunities for women and how to take advantage of them. We're going to be looking at how to define your career strategy, because for every career, an attendance strategy and a plan. So we're going to be helping you define your own peculiar career strategy and the associated plan, help you review your resources to know what you need and what you already have, to pursue your career, as well as the tools and the techniques to enable you stay on track. That we're going to be looking at all of this in the second phase of this workshop. So this particular phase, this particular presentation is going to be focused on the diagnosis, which talks about the reflections of your 2016 achievements, career achievements, and how to thrive in a turbulent economy as a woman. Let's look at some hard truths. After unemployment, the next worst thing that can happen to an individual is landing the wrong job. You may ask me why. We spend about 40 years of our lives working, and that's over 80,000 hours. If you're going to spend this long working, I think, and I know you also think, it's good to make it worthwhile. It's good to spend this number of years, this amount of time, investing it in what is going to be worth your while, what you're passionate about, what is going to pay you in the long run, and what is going to help you express who you really are. A productive life is not achieved by accident. It is not achieved by wishful thinking. It requires a deliberate and a conscious effort to achieve. So the same goes for career. You can't say you want a productive career without actually sitting down to count the cost, without actually sitting down to be deliberate and conscious of every single action, every single thing you do in your career. You see, at birth, people are born with natural traits and enable the person, perform naturally well as certain career options. This also goes with setting. This can also be seen, while we're in school, high school, or the university. You find out that there are certain courses, certain subjects that you are more inclined to other than others. It doesn't mean that those courses that you're not really good at, or rather you're not quickly inclined to, it doesn't mean that you're a dullard. It's certain things that you're wired, there are certain things that you're more wired to do. It tells you that there are certain career options that are best suited for you. I choose to call it your career DNA. Just like you have your fingerprints, there's no one else with your fingerprints. I tell you, there are career paths, especially a particular career path that you are best suited for. And in that particular career path, you are not going to be experiencing the struggles that you're currently experiencing in that job or where you currently find yourself. And we're going to be looking at that as we go on. So you need to also understand that people are different. You may see someone excelling in a particular area, and you try to step into that particular area, and you experience some obstacles and all that. It just tells you that people are different and you are unique. People say what is good for the goose is good for the gander, but in line of career development, I've realized that not everything that is good for the goose is good for the gander. What does it mean? It means that not every career path, I'm not wired for every career path. That's just the truth. That's also what you need to understand. You have all it takes to succeed within you. You have all it takes to succeed in a particular career path. Being stuck in a particular job or a career path without knowing, and you feel maybe you're not good enough, you've been passed over on promotions, and you feel maybe politics going on and all that. But the truth might just be that you are in this. You might just be a square peg in a round hole. You were designed for productivity. Just as a fish is in our place to thrive in water, that is how it is when you find your ideal career path. Fishes thrive in water. When they are brought out of water, go and they struggle to live. So in this economy, we find ourselves a turbulent economy. You can thrive. You can find ease in that area that you're called to do, that you're wired for. So you need to understand your desire for productivity. We need to understand these things, so that as we go on, it'll help you. It will help streamline, the things you should go for. You should, the resources you should go for. You can also earn as much as you want to earn. The truth is, people are paid for the kind and the amount and the quality of value that they add. So you may not be adding enough value, not because you do not have enough value to add, but probably because you do not have enough value to add in that particular area. You have as much value to add as you are an individual, because you have something nobody else has. Your individuality is enough to pay you. That's one thing you have to understand. Part of why this workshop is, put together to help you find your individuality, especially in your career. You can work passionately and make an impact, as well as be fulfilled. Who says you should go to work grumbling every Monday morning? People, these days coming up, discovering their place, and their creativity is being unleashed. Why? Because they're in their place. You too can work passionately, you too can make an impact, and you can be fulfilled. And the bottom line is, for all this to happen, you need career intelligence and career planning. Like I said earlier, a productive life as well as a productive career is not achieved by accident. It requires a deliberate and a conscious effort to achieve. So let's look at, quickly, let's look at what career intelligence is. It is the ability to define a clearly marked out career goal and deliberately devise plans and strategies to achieve your set goals, not leaving anything to chance or good luck. The ability to define a clearly marked out goal, which was what we did in the last course we had, the career identity course, and to deliberately devise plans and strategies to help you, achieve your set goals, not leaving it to chance or good luck, which is what the strategic career workshop is all about. A lack of career intelligence, not having career intelligence, leads to stunted growth in your career, being passed on promotions at work, no fulfillment, not enough financial rewards, and lots and lost. I've been here and I understand this. The key is to, first of all, define your career identity. For the sake of those of you just joining in, I'm just going to do a recap quickly of how to identify your career. But I will tell you, it is nothing compared to taking the career identity course. So how to determine your career identity is basically taking what we call the SHAPE course. It involves lots of other, but I'll just share this with you quickly. Your source, it involves taking a SHAPE course, which is an acronym for your source, your heart, your abilities, your personality, and your experiences. Your source talks about intuition. There are certain things, when you were created by God, there are certain things He has already put within you. I'll tell you how this plays out. There are certain times you get a peek into, the future. It could be times of meditation, or images just flash through your eyes, or you see yourself doing certain things that you have never thought about, and instantly, possibility wells up within you. I call this intuition. We call it intuition. The ability to just know things, it comes from your source. It comes from God. So there are certain times you sit and you see yourself doing certain things. This particular one happened to me. This was 10 years ago. I saw myself doing exactly what I was doing now. I was actually on my way home. Excuse me. I was actually on my way home, and I just saw images flash. I saw myself, a course that would enable people in high schools, out of school, getting a job, to actually define their ideal career path. For those of them in high school, to actually help them define the career path they're best suited for, so that they know the courses they should go for at that age, at that time in their life. So I actually saw myself doing this. It has happened to you before. Take a step back. There are things you've seen yourself do. There are images, there are thoughts that have dropped into your heart. There are images that have gone across your mind. You've seen yourself do certain things. You write them down, but looking at them where you are wondering, how am I going to actually actualize this? This is so impossible. It's actually a pointer to what you can do. It's actually a pointer to who you really are. The next is your heart. What are you passionate about? You need to actually sit down and identify the things you are passionate about. Many of us think we're passionate about certain things, but the truth is some of us have what I call acquired passion, where because maybe a group of people or the majority are onto something, and because of the vibe and the verb that goes with it, you now have an acquired passion for that particular thing. But you actually need to sit down and ask yourself, what am I passionate about? What can I do? If I'm not paid, I would enjoy doing this thing. What am I good at? What am I passionate about? Sorry. The next are your abilities. What am I good at? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Your abilities are broken into two: your talents, things you're naturally born with, things you are good at. That a pointer to this is, what are the things that people call you quickly for? When they think of, ABC, they think about you. Note those things down. Another pointer to your abilities are the skills you've been able to acquire over time. What are your abilities? You need to be able to sit down and outline them. What are the things that you were born with? What are the skills you've been able to acquire over time? Your personality talks about your character. It defines the way you act. There are four major classes of personality, four major personality types: the sanguine, the choleric, the melancholy, and the phlegmatic. The sanguine and the choleric and the phlegmatics are what we call the introverts. Everybody a combination of two or three of these personality types. So you need to sit down and ask yourself, what kind of personality do I have? Am I an introvert? And if I am, what are the traits that are readily, that I readily exhibit? If I'm an extrovert, what are the traits what traits do I readily exhibit? Pardon me. Okay, so for your experiences, there are certain things that you have gone through in your life that has been able to either spark up something or brought about pain. The passion is sparked up, gave you a vision to want to actually go on and do something, or the pain it brought about made you make a resolve that I am going to do XYZ just so that other people would not be able to go through this pain. Whatever you do, and look at the experiences you've gone through. These experiences have either produced or sparked up passion within you for something or towards something, or they have been able to, bring up pain in a particular area that you would want to do something about. So that's just a quick, like I said, I wouldn't, it's a course on its own, so if you're not clear about your career identity, you need to, take up that course. But I just had to do a little wrap up so you just have an idea. So where are you? This is a very, very critical question. If you want to plan your career strategically, you need to first of all understand where you are. So do you have a job or do you have a career? Peradventure, you're working. What you have, is it a job or a career? So I'm just going to do a quick explanation on that. A career is a long-term pattern of work, usually across multiple jobs. It implies a professional development to build skill over a period of time, where one moves from being a novice to an expert within a particular field. It can be defined as a job or a profession, especially one with an opportunity and process. So a career is a long-term pattern of work, usually across multiple jobs, and it entails you building up, towards being a professional in a particular field. As opposed, a job is a task or a piece of work, especially one that is paid. If you're doing something just for the pay, I'm sorry, what you have is a job and not a career. A job is a regular activity performed in exchange for payment. If a conscious choice was not or has not been made at some point, I would then say what you have is a job but not a career. I'm going to go further to help you, to help show you, break it down to know if what you have is a job or a career. There are certain major factors that help you, take up a job. The first is what I call financial factors. You're fresh out of school, or you're currently in a job, and you need up your financial game, permit me to say that, or you need to grow your finances. So you're looking for a job that offers that the pay is actually high to meet up your financial obligations. That is one of the reasons why people get a job, or why you are in that particular job you're in. Another reason why that affects job choices are educational factors. So someone comes out of school, out of college, and says, I studied computer science, so the kind of job I'm going to go for has to be based on what I read in school. A factor that affects your choice of job, a convenience factor. I've particularly seen a lot of people, take up job offers based on the first one, financial factors, because while we're doing interviews for some of the recruitment jobs that we did, you see a lot of people, how much do you want to get? How much do you want to get paid? And they tell you some ridiculous amount of money that is not commensurate with their experience, their level of skill is actually about. Another group of people we see are people that actually take up jobs because it's convenient. Okay, this job affords me some benefits that I actually need right now, or it's close to where I live, or people define convenience as different things. So they take up jobs based on convenience. Another reason why people take up jobs is for the prestige factors. People want to take up jobs for the name that it bears, the tag. Working in a multinational, working in XYZ company, people take up jobs not because of any other thing, but because of the prestige that they get working in a particular company or taking up a particular job. And then another reason why people, choose jobs are availability factors. I've been looking for a job for years. I just need any job. And the truth is, any job gives you no job, because you have to be specific about what you want. So these are some of the factors, the major factors that influence job choices. So if one of these influenced where you currently are, then I would say what you most probably have is a job and not a career. But what are the benefits of building a career? The first benefit, it drives personal development. Everybody wants to get paid and paid well. But the truth is, like I said earlier, people give money in exchange for value. The amount of money you get, the amount of money you are given is commensurate to the amount and the quality of value that you add. And for you to be able to add high quality value, you have to invest in yourself. And one thing that helps you to invest in yourself is, pursuing a particular career. So the first thing building a career does for you, it helps to drive your personal development, because you have a goal, you have a vision, there's something you're working towards. So you have a plan. It helps you develop a plan to actually grow in that particular line. A career also helps provide a platform for expression. Many people working today, are working in an environment that is like, that is in a brick and mortar environment, let me put it that way. So it's basically garbage in, garbage out. You're not given an opportunity to actually think. You're not given an opportunity to brainstorm. You're not given an opportunity to innovate. You're not given an opportunity to express yourself. There are a lot within you that you know nothing about. It gives you that platform for expression because this is you. You are bringing out every single thing in you and are in a particular line of work. You are bringing out your creativity. You are bringing out your passion, Sorry about that. Another thing is a key to guarantee success. It is a key. Building a career is a key to guaranteed success. It is a key to fulfillment. Fancy waking up every morning and being excited about going to work. That is what the career gives you. It is significance and relevance, which is what every single human being on the surface of this earth seeks and craves. Significance and relevance. Most of us for significance and relevance in the wrong places. You see someone, being relevant in her field or his field. You see someone being relevant in his place, and you now think, like I talked about it earlier, acquired. You now think, oh, this is the way to go. To be relevant, I need to do X, Y, Z. I need to do A, B, C. No. The quickest way to be relevant is finding your place, finding your ideal career path. Remember, your work life takes up 40 years of your life. That's 80,000 hours. So it means if you seek significance and relevance, find out that thing that makes you unique, that value you were created to add, and express it through work. It is also a key to financial reward in this area and legacy. There's no other way you can leave a legacy without building a career, without having the power of contribution. And that is what a career gives you. Contribution. That long after when you're, there is still something to be said about you, even in an organization, even in a society, wherever it is you find yourself, there is something to be said about you that if not for XYZ, this wouldn't have been possible. Where I worked before, I went on to, start up e-consult. Long after I left that place, I have been, I have a very good relationship with my boss. I still call her my boss, she's my ex-boss. But then because of what I was able to contribute in that organization, every time I walk into the organization, I still feel the relevance. I still see the things I was able to, add, being used, being utilized, and people are now building on them. That's what I mean by a legacy. All of these applies, all of these, benefits applies, whether you are building your career as an employee or an entrepreneur. I know many of us think that when you hear the word career, you think it just applies to employees. No. You can be an entrepreneur building a career in, entrepreneurship in a particular line. As an employee, you can build, if you have a vision, if you have a career path, you can actually build your career and become a highly skilled employee. This can also lead to you becoming an entrepreneur, where the owners of that company actually see you as a partner. When you are just working as an employee just to get paid, you're definitely not going to get to that point. So, like I said, it drives personal development. It can help you build yourself to the point of becoming a consultant in a particular field. One of the opportunities we have in this economy, because of the we're looking at in the second phase of the strategic career workshop, but I'm just going to mention this now because of the a lot of questions coming up, a lot of gaps in the economy right now, a lot of problems, seeming problems, which I would say these are openings for a lot of people. If you can actually look at the problems, a lot of problems people are naming, a lot of problems prevalent in this economy, look around you in your environment. You mustn't even look at it from the national level or the state level. Look around you. What are the prevalent problems around? You can actually come up. You can be that solution. And this is a time where infopreneurs are rising. A lot of people are rising to provide solutions to particular problems online. It is actually a place it's actually an opportunity you can explore. Looking around you, that you can solve. And the truth is, the problems you notice much more than others, there's an inkling that you have a solution to that particular problem. Someone might notice a problem in, say, and you might notice a problem in transportation. Whatever problem your eye catches more, there's much more opportunities for you to provide a solution in that particular area. So all of these benefits apply to you, whether you are working as an employee, or an entrepreneur. I hope you understand a bit. Please, if you have questions, you can actually put them down, and we're going to be looking at them as we go on. So now, let's look at the career development process. What is the process to developing your career? The first process, which I've talked about a little bit, is discovering your career identity, discovering yourself. The next is exploring and analyzing your options. In the career identity course that we did, participants were able to identify to discover their career identity. And from there, they were able to see like at least three career options that they can actually go into. So after identifying your career, after discovering, your career identity, it's the next thing you need to do is to explore and analyze your options. What options are available to me? What does it entail? Let me break it down. I'm going to use human resources, particular career field. In human resources, there are different aspects to human resources. You have recruitment, you have training, you have performance evaluation, you have, compensation and benefits. So someone can start off, okay, I've discovered my career identity. I want to be a human resource personnel. You can start off on a general note. As you go on and analyzing your options, you can now tend towards, say, recruitment, and recruitment is a whole world of its own. You can tend towards training, learning and development. It's a whole world of its own. You can tend towards performance evaluation. Each of these has, you can actually build a career in each of these, aspects. That goes for exploring, right? Developing a strategic plan. After analyzing your options, what's the next thing you need to do? Develop a strategic plan. Let me use myself as an example. I went through school without an idea of my career identity. So I was just going through school because I had to go through school, So it was in my final year in university that I discovered, my career identity based on a course I actually did way back then. And like I said, I studied computer science, but it was in my final year I realized I really didn't want to build a career in IT. Based on the tests and all that in the course that I did, I discovered that I was, I tended towards people development and all that. And because I didn't really know a lot of other options I could go into, I sought for the course that had to do with people, and human resources, came up. So that's where, exploring and analyzing your options comes in. That's where you are able to define the parts. Your identity gives birth to the parts, what you can actually do, the things you can actually do, and you're going to be passionate about, and you're going to enjoy doing them. So I discovered an option, which was HR. And then I went on to trying to develop a strategic plan. Started a career in HR, got involved in the different aspects of HR. And I noticed I was tending more towards training and development, and I started developing a strategic plan towards that. What do I mean by developing a strategic plan? I have defined the fact that, okay, I'm pursuing a career in HR with I want to specialize in training and development. What is my plan? What do I want to do? What do I want to achieve with training and development? I have to first of all define that. The next thing, what do I need to achieve this particular goal, in my career? I need to define that. What resources do I currently have to pursue this? I need to be able to identify what I have, my strengths, my weaknesses, And then what's the plan? A goal comes with a timeline. I need to put together set goals. Okay, based on where I'm going to, it's going to take me XYZ number of years to get here. Say, for instance, you need to take certain certifications. It's going to take me XYZ number of years to start the certification and finish it. It's going to take me XYZ number of months to do XYZ. You need to have a strategic plan. Inside the strategic plan, you also need to identify resources. Who do I need? Resources can be divided into financial resources, intellectual resources. I mentioned it earlier, like what trainings do I go for? Financial resources, intellectual resources, human resources. There are certain people you need on this journey, on your career journey. Where are they found? How do I network with them? All that goes into developing a strategic plan. The next thing after developing a strategic plan is take the necessary actions. The truth is, to actualize any goal that you have set for yourself, personal life, or in your career, there are attendant disciplines you need to imbibe. There are certain things you need to do. My mentor once told me that it takes a particular kind of person, to be able to be, let me use this example. It takes a particular kind of person. Nation. When it comes to the World Cup, she said it takes a particular kind of team to win the World Cup. For you to succeed in your career, there are people that have gone down that path before you. It took them taking up certain, actions to get there. So you need to take the necessary action, the attendant disciplines on your career journey. When you do that, remember, you set goals here. As you're taking the necessary actions with the timelines, when you get to that timeline, you have to now look back and evaluate your career. How far am I in pursuing, getting closer to my career goal? How far have I gone on my career journey in getting to where I want to get to? It's to you discovering more about yourself. Okay, there are certain things I still need, there are certain things I'm lacking, and then the whole cycle goes on. When you evaluate yourself, you find out the things you're getting right, you continue on that path. You find out the things you're not actually getting right, and then it helps you identify what you need. Self-discovery is actually a process, and then the whole cycle continues. So this is the career development process. We're going to be looking at this, much more in the second phase of this workshop. Here's what we're going to do right now. In developing a strategic career plan, take on this exercise. So I'm going to, if peradventure you do not have a writing material, a paper and a pen, I'll just give you a few seconds to get them together to, answer these questions. And I would ask you to please be very truthful. Tell yourself the truth. There's one person you can't lie to, and that person is you. So in order to move ahead, you have to first of all review the past. In order to get things right better in the future, you have to look at history. So we're going to begin by reviewing your career goals for 2016. We're going to be asking you in this exercise is this: do you have a job or a career? To answer this question, because this is the basics. If you have a job, then it means I need to define my career path, my ideal career path. If you have a career, then you're now going to ask yourself certain other questions as we go down the line. But you need to answer this. What you currently have, peradventure you are currently working, is it a job or a career? Please note that down, because we're going to be submitting our feedback on this later on in the course of the workshop. So do you have a job or career? The next question: if you have a job, what was the motivating factor, or what is the motivating factor? What is still keeping you in that job? Why are you there? Why did you take up that job? What is still keeping you in that job? What is the motivating factor? Number 3, if you have a career, what were your goals last year? If you just write, I did not set any career goals. If you set career goals, write them down. What were the career goals you set last year? So I'll just quickly take it again. Do you have a job or a career? Is a yes or a no. If you have a job, what was the motivating factor for you to take up that job? And what currently is the motivating factor keeping you in that job? If what you have is a career, what were your last year career goals? Peradventure, you didn't set any goals. You just write, I did not set any goals. If you did set some goals, then please write down the goals you set in your career. The next question: what percent? This is for those that have a career. What percentage of your goals, or if you have a job and you still set goals, answer this: what percentage of your goals did you achieve last year? 20%, 50, 70? You be the judge. Goals did you achieve last year? The next question: what did you do to enable you achieve the goals that you achieved? Remember in the last slide, we talked about, taking the necessary actions. So what actions did you take that enabled you achieve the goals that you achieved last year in your career? What process did you go through that led to your achieving the goals? Sometimes we get to achieve goals, but we don't even know how we got to achieve them. Why? Because we didn't actually follow the process. It was like hit and run. But you cannot actually reproduce that process, success, if you do not know the process you had to go through. So can you identify the process you went through that led to your achieving the goals that you achieved last year? I would need you to write them down. The next question: what stopped you from achieving the goals you didn't achieve? What stopped you from achieving the goals you didn't achieve? What process did you go through that led to your not achieving the goals? What process did you go through that led to your not achieving the goals? What could you have done differently? What do you think you could have done differently that would have helped you in achieving the goals? What could you have done differently last year? And the last question: ready to be deliberate about your career this year? Are you ready about your career this year? Don't worry, this presentation is still going to be available to you for a short period of time, so you can actually come back and settle down and answer these questions, because you're going to be sending them in to us before we now go on to before we now send you take you on the next phase of this strategic career planning workshop. So the second exercise that you're going to do, defining your ideal work life. What would you say is your dream work life? The obstacles you currently have, what would you say is your dream work life? If you're going to be working for 40 years of your life, what is your dream work life? What's it going to be like? And answer that. What would you say have been the limiting factors to your actualizing your dream work life? So exercise 1 and exercise 2 are very, very critical to your strategically planning your career this year. You need to assess where you're coming from in order to make the necessary adjustments for where you want to go to. Do these exercises. What would you say is your dream work life? And what would you say have been the limiting factors to your actualizing your dream work life? There's something I always say, and it's the truth actually. The main limiting factor, people have different limiting factors to pursuing their ideal career paths. Based on what it is, you're going to identify as your limiting factor, or what has limited you, what's kept you where you currently are on your career journey. Out of these factors, they are both, let me put it this way. The factors that have limited you in pursuing your ideal career path can be divided into two: the external factors and the internal factors. But the major factors are the internal factors. You do not really have a lot of influence on the external factors, but you do with internal factors because they are within your control. The internal factors are mostly in your mind, and these keep you from thriving in your ideal career path. The internal factors are more deadly than the external factors. You know why? Because we are more focused on the things around us that we are not, that we are not able to sit down and look at the factors that are within us. If we are able to deal with the internal factors, the external factors are going to be a walk in the park for us. In actualizing, in pursuing your ideal career, in going on that career journey and actually getting to that point where you've designated for yourself, you need to deal with the internal devils. That's what I call it, the internal devils. And these are majorly mindsets. These mindsets have been formed based on what you took in from the external environment. I'm going to use this analogy to explain how deadly they are. There's a popular experiment called the fly in the jar. A fly was flying around, and a jar was put over the fly. So it couldn't actually fly as high as it was. As it was flying, it couldn't actually go left, right. Its random movement basically was hindered by that jar placed over it. So the fly would get up, want to fly away. That external factor keeps it down. The fly want to get up, take another flight. That external lead puts it down. It continues the fly actually continued trying to go beyond that lead placed over it. And as this was going on, something went, the limiting factor, which was external, left that, that external realm and got into the mind of the fly. You can try this at home. You notice that after the experiment goes thus, that after a while, the jar was lifted, the fly was still not able beyond that point for a while. Why? In its mind, it still thinks that there is a lead. there are restrictions. I can't go beyond this. Trying it over and over and over has told the fly that, you know what, you can't go beyond this point. Fly as much as you want to fly, but this point, you can't go beyond it. And a lot of things that we've been exposed to, a lot of situations, experiences, news, and all that have formed a lot of limitations in our minds. And these have kept us from thriving, from stepping out, from finding our place. They've kept us back. So the first thing we need to do in planning for our career is to first of all deal with the limiting factors, which was what we looked at in the slide before. Now, most of the factors, your externals, and have now become your internal devils. They are in your mind, and they've kept you from thriving in your ideal career path. But guess what? There are principles to thriving, even in the economy. We're going to be looking at that quickly in our next slide. The principles of thriving in a turbulent economy. There are several principles, looking at people that are thriving around you in say in your organization, in your society. There are principles that they have, they are practicing daily, that are getting them ahead in their pursuits. So they've just been put together into 6 boxes, into 6 major principles. And as we go through them, you're going to see that they're actually things that we've overlooked, And the truth about the good thing about a principle is it is no respecter of persons. Anybody that actually puts the principle into play would reap the results of that principle. So the first principle, the 6 principles we're going to be looking at on how to thrive, in your ideal career path. The first, get the right viewpoint, which is part of what I was talking about. Defining your destination, standing, engage in self-renewal, build and nurture the right relationships, and then level out. I'll take it again. Viewpoint. Define your destination, your career destination. Where do you want to head? Get an understanding of your career destination. Engage in self-renewal, especially if you want to remain in the game. Build and nurture the right relationships. And then level out. Let me just give a little more explanations to this. It's no news that perception, colors your world, the way you see things. And guess what? The way you see things is not as important as, hello? The way you see things is not as important as how or the impression it leaves within you. Let me put it this way. You can get to look at something and a certain situation or news or whatever, it paints a particular image within you. That image is stronger than your reality. The first thing in your ideal career path is to, first of all, get the right viewpoint. Sorry. Let me give this example. There are certain career paths that over time, it was said to be a man's, male-dominated area, that women do not really have the brains for those career paths and all that. Or you could hear things like, it's a very turbulent journey on this particular career path. Or you could hear all sorts, especially when you want to get in a particular career path. You could hear, if you're going to climb in this, if you're going to grow in this particular career path, you need to do XYZ. It's not easy. It's not this. It's not that. Guess what? People are telling you things based on their own personality, based on their own experience, perception, and their perception has been colored based on what, like I said, the external environment that they grew up in or that they have been used to most of their lives. But the truth is, until you see that particular career path the way it really is, you will not be able to go on that journey. Get the right viewpoint. Get the right viewpoint. What you see is not as important as what your perception is. That's the truth. If you already have a perception which has been colored based on, your exposure over a period of time to certain things, is going to color what you see. That explains why certain people tell this particular course, say for example you're in high school, this particular course is very hard. It is based on their personality and who they are. Doesn't mean it's going to be the same for you. So ask yourself, what is your source of information? Is it full of positive stories or negative stories? Do you see or surround yourself with more failure stories than success stories? Especially in that career path that you want to take, who do you listen to more often than not that has helped in creating those barriers in your mind? You need to ask, what experiences have I been exposed to that has colored my world? Have you been on a job search for so long that getting a job or your dream job seems elusive? Have you been passed over on promotion so oftentimes that you have accepted that lie that you may not be that good after all? Have you heard more no's than yes? More closed doors than open doors? Or what is feeding your perception, popular opinion? Remember, what is good for the goose is not always good for the gander. People's opinions are oftentimes colored by their own perception too. So you need to get the right viewpoint. You have the power of choice, the negatives anymore. Some people are more focused on, the negatives. Oh, this person failed at it, failed at this, it doesn't work, XYZ. How about tuning in and changing to looking at the positives? In that particular area, in that particular field, there is someone that has actually broken a record. There is someone that has actually proven that it's possible. So instead of dwelling on the negatives, choose to dwell on the positives. And that's going to help you, get the right viewpoint. Until you do this, you would not be able to define your destination. To see is determined by your perception. You cannot see as far as you can see if your perception hinders you. Okay? So define your destination. After you've been able to get that viewpoint, to define your destination. Where do I want to be? What do I want to achieve on this career path? Where do I want to get to in this career journey? You need to define your destination. Remember, I gave an example with myself using human resources and how I decided that I was able to define the fact that I wanted to go into training and development. And even in training and development, I was able to define what I wanted to be doing, how far I wanted to take the training and development to. Is it just within the confines of an organization, or is it actually to, solve a problem prevalent in the employment world? So you define your destination. And after you've done that, you need to get understanding. What do I mean by getting an understanding? Many times we get direction, we're able to define our destination, we're able to sit down and say, this is where I want to go to, this is the point I want to get to, this is what I want to achieve. Not able to sit down to get an understanding. What do I mean? You need to understand all it takes to get you there. I mentioned it earlier in one of the slides. You need to be able to understand the resources that you need the strategies. Sorry, we're here defining your destination. And remember, we're still talking about how to thrive in your ideal career path in a turbulent economy. After getting the right viewpoint, you need to define your destination, and then you need to get understanding. This is where we currently are. Getting understanding means after getting defining your destination, where you want to get to, what you want to achieve, you need to sit down and understand all it will take to get you there. Every single resource you need, the strategies you need, the networks you need, the character traits required to pursue that particular goal, the risks involved, every single thing, even the right timing. You need to sit down and understand. It's like someone wanting to build a house. You need to sit down, get to the right viewpoint. A blueprint. Okay, I want to build a duplex, or I want to build a 4-story building. Right? That's where this is defining your destination, what you want to do. You need to now sit down and understand what it requires to build a bungalow or a duplex is not the same thing that is required to build a 4-story building. So you need to sit down and get understanding. If you do not actually go through this process here, principle will be of no benefit to you, because the next principle talks about self-renewal, engaging in self-renewal. This helps you know what you need and what you currently have and what you need to get. It helps you know what you need to get to where you want to go to, what you currently have, and what you need to acquire. Let me put it that way. Self-renewal talks about, sitting down to invest in yourself, analyzing your strengths, your weaknesses, and, sharpening everything you need to sharpen up to be able to deliver, to be able to go on that journey. I'm going to explain this using the eagle principle. Eagles don't fly, they mount up on the wings of the wind. They float through storms. We've all heard about the power of their vision, how they're able to sight a prey from high up in the sky. Their wings, their mighty wings help them glide through the storm, how their sharp beak and their claws are able to help them hunt. The most profound thing about the eagle is their secret of self-renewal, which we need to imbibe, especially in, growing and being relevant in your ideal career. Something happens to the eagle between the ages of 30 to 40. Very ugly, like a vulture. It starts losing its vision. It starts losing its strength. The beak and the claws begin to curve in, making it hard or impossible to catch prey. The eagle begins to lose its cutting edge. At this point, the eagle has two options, to remain in this state and die off, or go through the process of self-renewal, which is a very painful process. I'm going to explain in some seconds right now. 80% of eagles actually go through this, self-renewal process, and they survive, but 20% don't. So what are the things, what are the things that this eagle actually goes through in this self-renewal process? The first thing it does is that it goes on a retreat. It flies to a very high mountain that has collected some water, and it stays there in self-seclusion and withdrawal from activities for like 150 days. It's like going on a fast for 150 days. That's the key here. Take time off activities for a period. The same way no company survives without retreats to analyze, re-strategize, and to restructure. An individual needs time off activities for a period to actually analyze, re-strategize, and restructure. So the key here is to take time off activities. And there are certain things that you're going to be doing once you take this time off. It could be 2 days, it could be 3 days. But the bottom line is take time off your old activities and retreat. The second thing the eagle does is that it subjects itself to fast, just water. It just drinks water. Why? The thing is, the eagle discovered that my beak is not as sharp, and precise as it used to be. That helped me to actually, tear prey apart and all that. My claws are now bent in. I can't actually, scoop a prey from high up there anymore. I need to retreat. I need to do something. And the only thing, and at this point, it can't even eat. It's not relevant. It can't. The beak and the claws are not relevant, and they are not. They can't help the eagle, in its hunting games anymore. So it subjects itself to fast, just water. What is the key here for you? Based on the gaps you have noticed while you sat down to get an understanding, get the right information on those gaps as much as you can. On them, begin to feast on them. Sorry about that. Begin to feast on these information. It is called focused feeding, right? Focused feeding. The next thing, does, it begins against the rock. The beak is what he uses to actually catch, to actually tear prey apart, to eat and all that. So it's such a painful experience that it knows that my key to survival and eagle is on me having, the right, having my beak, alive. And the only way I can do this is to shed off this old beak. And in shedding off this old beak, it keeps hitting its beak against the rock till it pulls out. It is such a painful experience, but it knows that this is my key to survival. It is my key to thriving. By removing the old and allowing the new to bud. Picture, as women, you can picture, your fingernail being pulled out. That is the kind of hurt and pain the eagle goes through. What does this represent? Your character flaws, your moral strength. You need to scrape yourself off the past so that the future can appear. There are certain values you need to imbibe. And how do you even know the values to imbibe? By sitting down to get understanding. There are certain values you need to imbibe for the new level you seek. There are certain issues you need to imbibe for the new levels you seek, for the new level in your career that you seek. There are certain things you require, certain disciplines you need to put in place in order to get to where you want to get to. I'm going to use this example again. There is a kind of team that wins the World Cup. Not any team gets to win the World Cup. Not any gets to be that high-flying professional in a particular field. There are certain things. There are certain things you need to do. So this is where you need to work on your character flaws, on certain disciplines you need to imbibe, on certain values and virtues. The next thing the eagle does is the claws it uses for hunting will be pulled out painfully one by one till they are all out, and he will wait there. That's why it takes 150 days. He'll wait there till new claws go out. What does this represent for you? Your skill set. There are new skills you need to learn for your destination. There are new skills. It might not, in every industry, in every career path, in every industry, there is a lingo of that industry. There's a kind of language used in that industry. There are certain skill sets that are way higher than others in that particular industry. And then again, if you're going to be specializing in a particular area, there are certain other skills you need. This is a time to actually sit down and upgrade, expand your capacity to deliver value, especially skills relevant for the new level that you seek in your career. The next thing the eagle does in its process of self-renewal are the feathers. They begin to shed till it's all off and new feathers grow out. What does this talk about? You need new packaging and branding for the new level that you seek. You begin to lose your cutting edge. Peradventure, you're already on your career path, or you are aspiring to step into, a new career path and to start the journey. You need to engage in self-renewal in order to remain on top of your game, in order not to be stagnant or regress. just retreat, engage in self-renewal. What price are you willing to pay for this new level? What price are you willing to pay for this new career path that you've discovered to be your career, your ideal career path? Don't be a sparrow, but be an eagle and go through self-renewal. The next thing you need to do is build and nurture the right relationships. Remember, we're talking about the principles to thriving in your ideal career path in a brilliant economy. The next thing you need to do is to build and nurture the right relationships. I enjoy this particular principle is so, I love it so much because everything you need travels through men. Understand this fact. You can get the right viewpoint, you can define your destination, you can even get understanding and go through the process of self-renewal. But you need people. You need people to, if you're an entrepreneur, you need your client, you need the clients, you need people, you need a target market. If you're an employee, you need a boss, you need colleagues, you need people to work with. It's better by helping us understand that there are 3 kinds of relationships everybody needs to have. Relationship with people above you, relationship with your peers, and relationship with people beneath you. I'm going to put it in another way. You need relationships with your mentors. You need mentors. You need relationship with your peers. I call them your comrades. And you need relationship with your mentees or your proteges. I'm going to tell you now what each of these relationships are meant to do for you. For the mentors, there are people that you need to look up to. People that build you up, that help to build you up, that help to inspire you. They train you and to provide guidance, to provide training and guidance. This is your growth, your process of growth. They help you to aspire for greatness and support you on to surmount some obstacles. This is an example to you. We provide also a system of accountability. Like I said earlier, what you want to do, someone else has been before you. The certain, character traits and all that, someone else has walked that path. That is why you need mentors. The truth is, mentors are bridges. They shorten your journey. What it will take you 10 years to accomplish, you can actually do that in a year. Having a mentor actually exposes you to works of the people that the mentor exposes you to, networks, information, things that on your own you might not have access to. That's one of the power of having mentors. The second kind of relationships you need to build and nurture are relationships with your comrades. These are people that are your peers who challenge you, encourage you, provide peer accountability and comradeship. These are people that get you. They understand you and provide a sense of belonging, acceptance, and drive your power of contribution. This is where networking comes into play. You cannot go on that journey on your own, like I explained earlier. Network of resources. There are certain things you need. Your comrade has it. You network and you get it. There are certain skills you require for what you want to do. Even as an entrepreneur, you don't need to acquire all the skills. Entrepreneurship, three major kinds of people are needed: the vision, the manager, and the technocrat. The technocrat are those that are skilled to get the job done. The manager oversees the technocrats, and the visionary gives the direction. So you need to partner with people. It also helps you, gives you access to skills and knowledge that on your own you might not have access to. Then the third group of people you need to have in your life, build and nurture that kind of relationship, are proteges. These are people that look up to you. Most of us are used to, drinking from mentors, drinking from, engaging with our, comrades, with our peers, but we don't give back. There is a power in giving back. There are advantages of having people that look up to you. You know, they look up to you, especially in your area of expertise. There are skills that you have that gets better when you start teaching it. That's one of the advantages of having prodigies. Having prodigies also gives you a sense of responsibility, instills discipline in you, and focus on what you're pursuing. Why? When you know that there are people looking up to you, it puts you in shape. You want to be a model. People that they can also, they can also make things happen. They can also, add value. It makes you a model. It gives you, it instills discipline in you. So in order to thrive in your ideal career path, you need to look for people that have been there, that have been where you aspire to be. You need to look for people that spur you on, that encourages you to achieve success with the same values as you. And then you need to identify people that are hungry and they look up to you, and you start engaging and start networking. This is one of the ways to thrive in this season. And then the final principle I'm going to be sharing with us, which actually is not the least, but then with these 6, I think you're good to go, is the principle of leveling out. I'm going to an experience I had sometime last year. So I was in Delta State, Nigeria, sometime last year to get a session, and I got talking with a young lady who just got a job with one of the leading banks. Just 2 months in her job, she was already complaining of being tired. Her words were, "It's so monotonous. You're not allowed to think. You just follow the processes. I have dreams, and this is not looking like it." You know what? She felt boxed in. Not only the pay, but with routines. She was like, she worked from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily. And my advice to her was this: level out. What does it mean to level out? Don't depend on just one jar. In order to thrive in your ideal career path, if you are an employee trying to build a career in a particular field, level out. Don't just offer your services, or strive to add value at your job. There are other things you can do outside of your job. On Saturdays, weekends, when you don't work, online, people need help. You can actually go online and begin to proffer your services to people. The more you do this, the more you grow, the more experience you get. Over the weekends, you can volunteer your services. It provides exposure to you. It helps you express yourself. This is what I call leveling out. You're being paid to get the job done where you work. Granted, but what do you do with your other time, with your leisure? You can actually proffer your services, either for free as a volunteer or paid online. For you, don't just have one jar, one source of income. Get more. Remember, we're talking about how to thrive in a turbulent economy. Don't just have one jar, get more. How do you do this? Develop relevant skills. We talked about it in engaging in self-renewal. Develop relevant skills. The quantity and the quality of your skill determines the value you have to offer. And then it determines, the number of jars that you can create out of them. So don't just settle in your job or your level out. Channels of expression to express yourself. All right? Stand out in your game. This brings us back still to this engaging in self-renewal. Remember, the quality and the quantity of value you have to add. Some of us feel boxed in what we do, just like this young lady. I want to give more. I want to do more. Or my job, peradventure, you are in a job, you don't have a career yet. This principle would work for you. Level out. There are certain key skills you can't afford not to have in this time, in this season. One of them is people management skills. You are going to be working with people. Whether they're your vendors, whether they're your partners, whether they're your clients, you are going to be working with people or your colleagues. You need to learn people management skills, basic IT and online skills. You need to learn business development skills. You know, in the line of, recruitment, working with the people that I've worked with, I see a lot of young graduates, they tell you, no. I don't want to be in marketing. I don't want to be in sales and all that. But the truth is, even as an entrepreneur, right? Or as an employee, guess what? You are involved in sales. What you came to do at the interview session was to sell yourself. What you do as an entrepreneur is to sell yourself and to sell your brand, your services, and your products. So in this era, one of the skills you cannot afford to do without is what? Business development skills, strategy development, strategic marketing skills. These are things you need either as an employee or as an entrepreneur. So bring it in home, right? If you want to increase your, you want to increase how much you earn, right? For instance, you earn say 200,000. You want to have an increase of an extra 500. Don't expect it to come from one jar. Don't expect it to come from where you work. Guess what? You're already pegged at where you're pegged at. Say you're earning 200,000 where you are currently, or you're not earning anything at all. You're not working. You need to provide opportunities at value that does not contradict or compromise your work, for those of you working, or does not, or for if you're not working, you have nothing to lose. You just need to provide avenues you just need to, develop or provide yourself with avenues to add value, quality and quantity value. So if you're earning 200 and you want an increase of an extra 500, you don't expect it to come from where you currently work. Why? Because it's already pegged at 200. Even if you get a promotion, I seriously doubt that it's going to be more than a 20% increase of your salary. What do I mean? Get more skills. Get basic skills that puts you in the game, as well as predictive skills. What do I mean by predictive skills? Study the current problems available and the trends and get skills to match based on your area. In your ideal career paths, there are predictive skills. If you look through the trend, you can actually, see where the future, where we're headed in your career. In the future, get skills to match your area. Get predictive skills as well as skills that put you in the game and allow you play well. That's what I mean by leveling out. So I'm sure I was able to explain all that, right? Principles to thriving in your ideal career path. So on to the next, building your career brand. Define where you currently are, whether you have a job or you have a career. What has kept you back, as well as the principles you need to thrive in a turbulent economy. The next step is now to build your career brand, which is not possible without a strategic career plan. This is what we're going to be giving to you. The next is going to be a video course, which covers defining your career strategy and the associated plan, developing your own personal culture. An organization is as good and as successful as its culture. The kind of customers as an organization, the kind of customers they're able to retain as an organization is dependent on their culture. An organization's culture is the organization's vision, mission, values, and all that. So we're going to be helping you define and develop your own personal career culture. In order to make your career successful, you need a personal culture. Reviewing your resources to identify what you need to succeed. And then the video also covers the tools and the techniques you need, that would enable you to stay on track. This course is a must-have if you are interested in building a successful career in a turbulent economy. If this presentation has been helpful to you and you would like to access this video, kindly register at www.econsult.com.ng/planning, or you can send us an email at on this email address, info@econsult.com.ng, with "want video course" as the subject. I'll take it again. If this presentation has been helpful and you would like to access the video course for the next phase of the Strategic Career Planning 2017, kindly register at the www.econsult.com.ng/planning, or you send us an email at econsult.com.ng with "want video course" as the subject. If you have already signed up for the Strategic Career Planning video course, some of us on this particular presentation have done that, just send us an email with the feedback of the 2 exercises we did in this presentation, and the video will be sent to you directly. The feedback will enable us to help you develop your own personal culture for your career. We need to know where you've been. We need to know what has limited you, and we need to help you in order to help us help you develop own personal, culture for your career. Those of you that just, joined in on this presentation, when you register, on the website, www.econsult.com.ng/planning, you're going to gain access for free to the career identity course. What that course will do for you is to help you identify your ideal career path with 3 options of a career you can choose from. And then it would also help you narrow it down to the one that is your most preferred career path. Apart from that, you're going to get a free 1-hour consultation with our consultants, for free. We normally charge 15,000 for that, but you're going to get a free consultation just for registering for this course. So you're going to have the career identity course for free. You're going to have a free 1-hour consultation. Another thing we're giving you for free is our premium subscription on our career support group. It's an online career support group called the eHub. What do we do on the eHub? We provide you with resources. We provide you with access to mentors, to trainings, all in line with your specific career path. Say, for instance, you want to build a career in event. You're going to be getting access to mentors in that area. You're going to be getting resources in that area to build your career. You're going to be getting access to trainings, even at discounted rates. There are a lot of benefits for premium subscribers. Normally, you get to pay 5,000 for that for a year subscription, but you're going to be getting that for free just by registering for this video course. So what you're going to be getting again is the video course. You're going to be getting, that's the video course for the Strategic Career Planning Workshop. You're going to be getting our flagship course, the Career Identity course, for free. You're going to be getting a free 1-hour consultation with our consultants at eConsult. You're also going to be getting a 1-year free subscription to our premium, our premium group called the eHub. Okay. Remember, if you've already signed up for the Strategic Career Planning video course, send us an email with the feedback of the 2 exercises we did in this presentation, and the video will be sent directly to you. The feedback would enable us to help you develop your own personal culture for your career. Send it to info@econsult.com.ng, and you can copy me at chiomage.com.ng. Now it's your time. Do you have any questions? Kindly ask me. Type it in the question box you have down there. And I just want to tell you that I'm so glad I could take you through this presentation. I'm so excited. I know that, to your career this year has changed. And I know you're going to be taking the next best decision, which is to sign up for the video course, which is next to nothing. It's actually for free. Check out the link and you would understand what I mean. That is actually for free. And the freebies of the free identity career course, the free 1-hour consultation, and the free 1-year subscription to our eHub Premium service. The last words while you're putting your questions, I just want you to know that your career journey has just begun. And you need to strategically plan to succeed in it. I also want you to know that you too can build a career of your dreams that you're passionate about, you can find fulfillment in, you can make an impact and gain financial rewards. If you need further help, book an advisory session with us. Well, you don't need to do this because you just attended this course. Like I said, all you need to do is just to register in order for you to get the video for the strategic planning workshop, and you're going to get a free advisory session with our consultants or with me. And you're going to be getting the free identity career course to get you on the right path. We're still at the beginning of 2017. There is no better time than now to start planning. But remember the secret of self-renewal of the ego. There is a time to retreat, and these tools that we're giving to you is going to help you retreat. It's going to help you find out what you need, and it's going to help you put you on the right path to actually succeed in this year. Reach passion. Okay. So thank you for watching, for going through this. Thank you. Thank you for attending this course with us. Thank you for being a part of this presentation, and having you sign up for the video course, having a one-on-one session with you, because we are committed to your career success. Thank you.